MJ, what is the difference between Botox and nanoplasty? Welcome to the SOS Flora. My name is MJ. I'm a nanoplasty specialist and I'm here today to talk to you, hairdresser, about the difference between nanoplasty and Botox. Welcome, guys. I'm very excited again with this live. We've been doing this together for I don't know how long. And this week we've got something very, very special that I want to show you guys, which is we're going to start a podcast. And this podcast is going to be all about nanoplasty. And it will be amazing for us to interview hairdressers and also dive into this world of nanoplasty a little bit more than what we do. And you know that every week, Tuesday and Thursdays, I'm here talking to you guys about something very, very special and very important. So let's go to the explanation of Botox and nanoplasty. I've got here two bottles. I've got the products here. I've got two bottles. One is where we can get these products in Melbourne. You can buy online. From Melbourne is 1-day delivery. So it's not issue at all of ordering online. So it's 1-day delivery to Melbourne, which is great. All right, so let's understand the difference between these two. Obviously that the name of each product, sometimes they're not really accurate to the finalization or the function of the product. And why are you saying that, MJ? Because Botox, for example, in Brazil, when we sell Botox in Brazil, we are talking about a very deep and hydrating mask alone. We're not talking about straightening whatsoever. This is in Brazil, the meaning that Botox has in Brazil. But then in Australia specifically, I'm not talking about America, I'm not talking about India, I'm not talking about Europe, I'm talking about Australia. In Australia, Botox has a different connotation, which means something a little bit lighter than a straightening system. So when I'm talking about a Botox here, I'm talking about with the meaning that Australia gave to this word, which is a lighter solution. All right? On this live today, you're going to be able to see the difference because I feel that there is some brands trying to confuse you guys. And let me show you something very important. So first of all, we're going to talk about the nanoplasty because if you don't understand certain patterns and also some information on the nanoplasty, you're not going to be able to choose or even to sell to your clients the Botox. And one of the most important parts of what we do here is to teach you deeply of what we're talking about. Then you're going to be able to tell your clients, and that's how you sell. Look what I've got. Let me show you guys. Woo, I bought a hair strand. Look at this. We're going to be able to dive into the hair strand. That's amazing. I love that. I absolutely love this. It shows all the parts of the hair strand. So we are able to see really where the product goes, where the product doesn't go, why the hair becomes oily, why it doesn't. Well, I'm so excited for everything. But today we're talking specifically about the difference between nanoplasty and Botox. So let's go. So the nanoplasty solution, the W1, the W2, and the Eco-Reduxa that you already have. To be considered as a nanoplasty, they need to have a density. All right? They need to have a density. And the density of this product, it's a bit more liquid. You can hear, right? You can hear when I move the bottle. Can you hear? Can you hear when I move the bottle? This consistency classify the solution a nano solution. Why? Because the active ingredient, it's actually a liquid, a transparent liquid. So if I have this product here, thicker, I would not be considering this as a nano solution. Why? Because the density of the nanoplasty needs to be from 4 to 12. Let me explain again. when we developed this solution, which was the first one, the density was 4. And let me show you a 4 density. Let me show you 1 second. This is a product on the density 4. See how liquid it is? So much that before the nanoplastic could be spread into the hair. Similar to the vinegar. You know the Express? Vinegar. And that's why, listen to me. That's why the Express nanoplasty is express. It acts faster on the hair. Because also of the form of this product. Understand? That's why we could accelerate the process. Because the product is a bit more liquid. Is that making sense? You guys need to put the thumbs up because I need to make sure that you guys are following my thought. If you are following, put your thumbs up because I want to make sure that all of you are understanding pretty well what I'm talking about. So then you don't get confused by other brands selling you something that is not true, and you're going to understand why. Today you're going to make a lot of sense, a lot of things, okay? So the more liquid the product is, the activation is quicker. That's why the Express Nanoplasty is in a spray bottle and you can spray on the hair, okay? So the Nanoplasty, before, when it was developed, the density of the product was 4. It was similar to the macadamia serum. But then clients were saying, it's too runny, it's hard to apply, it starts dripping on the neck, blah, blah, blah. So we had to increase the density. And the density now, as we speak, varies from 9 to 12. That's why sometimes you have the product a little bit thicker and sometimes the product is a little bit runny. Can you see that this one is becoming, it has more noise than this one here? This one seems pretty thick. But you're not going to go over the 12, because if you go over 12, pay attention on this part. If I go over 12 on the density of the product, it means that I need to put more mask, more emulsifying, which is the ingredient that create that thickness, like a gravy. If I have to put more of that, eventually it's going to reduce the power of the straightening, the longevity of the straightening. And this will be considered as a Botox. Now, something very, very, very important. If I increase the density of the product, if I make this product here very thick, when I put on the bowl, it becomes thick. I can grab with a brush, I put it down and it doesn't fall. It means that I have a Botox solution. So it's very hydrating, but the longevity will be reduced eventually. And to not be unfair for you guys, because if I increase the amount of masks, oils, emulsifiers, the formula becomes cheaper. So I can't charge you a premium nanoplastic product if I'm giving to you something that has more mask. Do you understand what I mean? So what Fluoractive did, we created 2 different formulas. One, that it's a nanoplastic solution that will leave the hair straight for longer, but we're going to create something lighter that will make the hair straight as well. It will give lots of hydration because it will have obviously more mask, but it will not make the hair straight for that long. Okay? Great. Does that mean that it doesn't penetrate it too thick? It does, but it doesn't last as long. A different question, could the W1 be applied with a sponge? Yeah, but then you're going to remove a lot of the products on the sponge. You will absorb the product on the sponge more than actually on a brush, but you could apply with your hand. Put the product in your hand and apply on the hair. You could do that. Or you could put the product in a bottle for you to squeeze easier on top of the hair. as we do with toners sometimes. Now you're gonna see the difference on the Botox and how thick the Botox is. Look at this. This is how thick the Botox is. Look at that. It doesn't fall from the bottom. It's a very thick solution. Can you see that it's a mask? If you want a thicker product, this is half of the price of the W1. And you will make the hair straight and healthy and smooth and really soft. And I'm not gonna be selling you something that cost a nanoplasty solution with a Botox price. So the nano will last longer than the Botox, absolutely. Because the thicker the product is, less the longevity. This is what I want you guys to have in your mind. The thicker the product is, the cheaper is the formula. Some people say to me, this product is really runny. It needs to be runny. Otherwise, it doesn't have the capability of lasting 8 months. It needs to be a little bit more liquidish. It can be thick. If you want a thicker product, stick with the Botox then. Botox is really, 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 really thick. I'm going to show you. This is how thick is the Botox. Do you want something thick? You can stick with this. You can stick with the Botox. Botox will give you lots of hydration because the formula contains more masks, more oils. Loving my Floractive Nanoplasty on a client. I did last week and in myself, and I can ask if sulfate-free and soda chlorine-free shampoo is fine to use. It is fine to use. It's not compulsory to be recommended. Understand? You can use, but it's not compulsory. You don't need to say to your clients, you have to, because they don't have to. Understand? Unicorns Rabbit say, while Botox is more hydrating treatment, is definitely more hydrating treatment. Definitely, because it has way more oils, but obviously that is going to reduce the power of the straightening. MJ, what you're saying is the hair is not going to become straight then when I do it? You are saying that it's not going to last as long when I use in somebody. So let me clarify something with the Botox in my hand. Smells so good that I feel like eating. It's going to make the hair straight. It's going to make the hair fully straight. But in about 5 months, the hair is going to be all back. The hair is not going to last long. When your client comes back, pretty much the whole hair will need to be redone. But then, there's so many good questions here. TJB hair artists say, I love the consistency and the scent. It's not overpowering at all. Amazing. RMC says, I used W1 for my pregnant lady client last December and it still looks great. Fiona say, can I mix W1? I love that question, Fiona. And I know why you're asking, because you are a nanoplasty specialist. That's why you know. Amazing. Can you mix the W1 and the Botox together? Or can I use W1 for one section and the Botox that requires straightening? Wait, W1 for the section of the hair that requires straightening and the top of the hair with Botox? Of course you can. And this is the magic. Oh, my filter is gone. Come on, filter. Anyway, my filter is gone. Okay, too many questions. All right. Let's go back to Fiona. Fiona, you can definitely, absolutely do that. You can use Botox to the ends and the W1 to the top. Or you can mix them together. You get a spoon, put one of the spoon inside of the bowl of the W1 and mix it together. It will enhance the mixture with lots of hydration. And why? MJ, why you don't sell this solution then? Why you don't talk about this solution all the time? Because this is a solution that hasn't been released for a long time. And it's amazing. We've been saying, obviously, here and there where we can, because otherwise you're going to be hearing me just talking about this product. But let me tell you, thickness doesn't mean anything when you say about the nanoplasty. I've seen some competitors saying to me, oh, my product is thicker, that's why it works better. Your product's thicker, has lots of oils, and it's much cheaper than the W1. That's why you're selling cheaper products on the same price of the W1. Is that what you're saying? That you're getting your cheaper product and selling it as a premium product, and your client are actually believing the thicker product works better? So that's why I'm here. I need to educate. Otherwise, you guys will be fooled by any sales pitch. So TJB say, can I ask how many mils you would suggest normally with W1 and W2? Ask me again the question, TBJ. I didn't get it what you're saying about the mixture. IR, fantastic haircut, say, so BTX will last for 5 months? Yes, roughly 5 months. On my hair, last about 5 months. It goes back to exactly the same time. Same thing, you know, that started. Different than the nanoplasty, that I feel that the return is not 100%, is about 60-70%. Understand? So ZGH1365 say, can customer ponytail style next day? No, honey, they can style on the same day. They don't need to wait. They can do that on the same day, which is fantastic. What about pricing of the Botox? My love, I'm not going to tell prices on a live. I'm going to tell prices in box for clients, whoever is registered, okay? So if you want to know the prices, you need to register first. What are you suggesting when doing balayage hair? Volume 5-6 roots, and it will be W1, then the ends are 9-10, so dry W2. Okay, that's a good question. If you have a client with balayage, and obviously you can do the W1 on the top and the W2 at the bottom. And you can also mix, you know, the BTX. We've got the BTX for blonde hair, and we've got the BTX for brown hair. And you can mix them together as well. Together, or you can do this mixture as well, or this mixture as well, or this, or this. The products are 100% compatible. Per client, how many mils will be standard for using in a median head of hair? I would say about 90, 100, depending on how thick is the hair. Sorry, how many grams? Yeah, I would say that, around that. It depends. It really depends. On my hair, I know that I can use about 60 mils. This is standard. I can use that on my hair. I've been measuring, but obviously I don't have a lot of hair. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of hair in my head. But some people with a lot of hair, you might use a little bit more. I feel that if you are using more than 150 grams with a lot of people, it means that you are using way too much. Unicorn Habit say, so Nanoplasty is more smoothing, straightening, while Botox is more deepening, hydration. No, both of them are straightening. The difference between them is the longevity, okay? Longevity. And obviously, as are in fantastic cut saying, what about the elasticity with the Botox with the level 9? How much percent it repairs? Because this product here contains a lot of oils, and you're going to stay with this product for an hour in your head, on your client's head obviously, it would definitely give a dense repair feeling. Even the nanoplasty, because of the amount of amino acids. Amino acids, it's what repairs the fiber. Because what means when the hair is damaged? It means that the layer where the amino acids are held has been broken, and the amino acids has been released. So when we give back the amino acids, the amount of amino acids, it means that we repair the hair in a deeper level. So that every time we bring back the amino acids to the hair, we repair the hair. So if you have a product that it says on the composition, reconstruction, blah, 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 and it doesn't contain any amino acids, at least one of the 20 amino acids, you can say, I don't think this is for reconstruction. It can be good for hydration, but not reconstruction. So there is a division on reconstruction, hydration, and nutrition. And it's very important for us to investigate that. I guess it's great for clients who don't want to have straight hair for a long time. Amazing. Or for someone that doesn't want to pay for the nanoplasty. Or someone that is asking just for a keratin. This will be amazing. But MJ, this will make the hair straight? It will. But it's not going to last, all right? Yesterday, I did a curls hydration with BTX and added a touch of the W2 solution. Amazing. Let me show you guys some examples of hairs that has been using the BTX. Let me show you guys. Look at this one here. So look at this freeze reduction. Has been used the BTX. And then you say to me, MJ, so what about if my client wants to have the hair straightened? If your client wants to have the hair straightened, you can still use this. The only difference is it's not gonna last on the hair as much as it lasts on the nanoplasty. And why I'm saying that to you, because guys, honestly, we need to sell to our clients, me as a nanoplasty specialist and also as a distributor of nanoplasty. As a distributor of nanoplasty, my goal is to give you guys something that is honestly true. And that's why I don't sell to you thicker products with nanoplasty prices. I sell to you thicker products, Botox prices, because it's a fair way of doing it. A thicker product has more butters, more oils, which is cheaper. And if the formula is cheaper, the product needs to be cheaper for you and the service needs to be cheaper. I will also not allow people to sell this as nanoplasty because obviously it gives a really good result, because this is a cheaper solution, cheaper service. I think my obligation is to be fair with the brand and with you. Can we use the BTX brown packaging for color treated hair? 100%. 100%. Or if you only have the BTX and you have the W2, you put the BTX and a pinch of the W2 inside just to tone it. All right? This will only make the hair orange if you pass the straightener way too many times. If you pass the straightener way too many times on this product, you're going to have the color change because there is no pigment on the formula. It's a white formula, as you can see. And Danny, not only about the versatility, I think it's about honesty as well. I'm very honest in regards to prices and also in regards to how much money you can make. If I tell you that you can make X, you can make X. And if I tell you that you can't make X, you can't make X. Because I'm not selling lies at the end of the day. I really hate when someone comes here and say, oh yes, somebody called me and say that their formula is thicker. And the person says proudly, oh, the formula is thicker and I think Flora Active formula is a bit runny. And I'm like, you're paying for a cheaper product, the same price, and you feel that you are doing a good deal? You are paying for a product that it's half price of what it's half of the price. When you add more oils, you make the formula half price. You make the formula half price. I could make this product very thick. The density of some brands are 20, guys. Our formula, the density is 8 to 12. Majority of the brands of nanoplasty you have in the market, the density is 20. And they say proudly that the formula is thick. And when I see this, I'm like, okay.